There were times when everything was going so good and I was doing so well, and suddenly, bam. See, what was motivating me was something superficial. I want to have a nice body. I want to look nice. I want to be liked. As a motivation, it had its limitations. Time, effort, and dedication. I know in this day and age, we want everything to be now. We want this video to be over right now. We want it to give us the information we want it right now. And we want to have that body and that dream weight right now, yesterday. But the thing is, without time, effort, and dedication, it won't work. Tolerating that's a manifestation of forbearance. And this is part 2 of the videos that I was talking about. I wanted to talk to you guys about 5 points that I've realized are really, 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 really important. They're important to me, but I'm sure in a certain way you can pull some analogies for yourself and apply them to your life. Number 1 is study yourself. Number 2 is learn to listen inward. And number 3 is focus on character and not appearance. And number 4, be compassionate to yourself. And number 5 is set your goals inward. If you really want to transcend anything that life will throw into your way, then you should set your goals inward. We're not all the same. Oftentimes you'll find people saying, this is the deal, and this is the real thing, and this is for you. But the thing is, we're all different, okay? And some people can do cross-fitness, high-intensity workouts, high-intensity interval workouts, high-intensity cardio, go running, be like marathon. That's all good if that's you. But you see, there's some people that aren't that way. They like to get home and they like to read their book. They like to go for a walk every now and then. But these people still want to lose weight. Does it mean they can't lose weight? No, it doesn't. It just means they have to do what they do differently. And they don't have to go on a 0 carb or like a total restriction. I eat hardly anything per day. Restraintful diet. Not at all. See, this is what I want to share with you. It's basically a summary of my of all the things I've come to realize in my Nutri diary from 2015 till now 2016. Number 1 is study yourself. See, I noticed that I read a lot of books, fitness books, diet books, Atkins books. I read a lot, high carb, low carb. One thing I noticed was that it gave me a lot of information, don't get me wrong, but it didn't help me with one thing. It didn't help me understand myself. Because at the end of the day, I was making mistakes, okay? I know there are these ideal transformation stories, 12 months through, and this is how I look like after 12 months. But you see, that's the tip of the iceberg of all the people trying to achieve a change in their appearance and health and so on and so forth. I noticed that I need to get to know myself. There were times when everything was going so good and I was doing so well, and suddenly, bam, it hit me, and I would just fall into a negative routine again. And I started asking myself, what's up with this? See, I've been doing my workouts, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. I've been eating less of this, eating more of that, but still I fell into this old habit. And I noticed that it had to do with looking into myself and getting to know myself. Set your goals inward. So what do I mean with setting my goals inward? See, what was motivating me was something superficial. I want to have a nice body. I want to look nice. I want to be liked. In a certain way, it was selfish. I'm not saying that it's not right to want that. I'm just saying that as a motivation, it had its limitations. And those limitations came up when I was socially under a lot of stress. That motivation just wouldn't transcend emotional problems, be it because of my relationship or something else. Like, that's what I mean, people are different. I'm not a person that can always just put myself above everything. So I would have had to be very selfish to say, you know what, oh, I'm feeling so down, this is also, you know what, I don't care, I want to be myself, my body, I want to be, yeah, me. In those moments, I can't draw that motivation, you know? Because even though I say, oh, I want to have a cool body, oh, I want to, you know, want to lose weight, this and that, okay, it's still there, but in the end, I still want to share it, you know? I still have, like, space next to me, okay? And that space is filled by the person close to me, you know, and the people close to me, my family. So that's why the selfish motivation didn't bring me far in that. And that's what I mean with set your goals inward. See, when I started saying, okay, yes, I want to lose weight, and I looked at myself, this is point one, getting to know yourself. I said, okay, so why am I acting this way? Why do I fall into those pits? And that's when I realized it had to do, there was a sequence to it. There was a pattern, and that pattern was basically me in moments of emotional distress. But to learn and study myself, I had to learn to listen inward. And this is something is so valuable. Listen inward. Listen inward for me meant that I would go inside and ask my body, or let my body tell me what it wanted. See, that's the thing. I noticed it when the 10 days of my courses were done. I wouldn't know what to do, and I would slowly fall back into my old habits and stuff that I was used to eating and making and feeding myself with. But here's the thing, when I started to listen inward, my body would tell me, you know what, I want the chocolate. But it would also say, I need vitamins, or I need minerals. There is some level of communication, a universal way of communication, where my body would tell me this in terms of images or things that I myself am used to associating with those things. It's just like some pregnant women, peanuts are good for brain development, and they're really good when you're pregnant. So I knew this lady. She said when she is still pregnant, but she would always be so hungry for Snickers. So hungry for Snickers. And I told her, hey, you know what? Peanuts are really good when you're pregnant. See, I told her this before she told me that she was always hungry for Snickers. I told her peanuts are really good for a baby's development and so on. And she said, yeah, you know what? I'm always hungry for Snickers. And thinking about it now, we both said, yeah, there's peanuts. Yeah, there's peanuts in the Snickers. So what you could do now is say, you know what? Oh, Snickers is good for me. Or you could actually understand that your body's trying to tell you, I need peanuts, or whatever is in the peanuts. And then you could say, oh, okay, you know what? Since I want to be healthy, let me just take the peanuts and leave out the whole sugar side of it. And there you go. And that's what systematically I started doing. I started trying to listen to my body, and it would tell me what it needed. It's amazing, and it's nothing magical or like supernatural. It's something that we have innate in us. It just becomes supernatural because the boxed down and geared down way that we live and think is so far from what we could and how we could live, that things that go beyond that are supernatural to what we think is natural. It just has to do with you wanting to listen, and trust me, your body will start talking to you. Point 3 is focus on character and not on appearance. What does focus on character and not appearance mean for me? My main motivation was I want a nice body, but that motivation only went so far. Once I started also applying my journey to my character, trying to refine my character, I started having goals that transcended emotional problems. Then being in a conflict still was in line with that. And if I would go inward and I want to be upset and I want to like say, okay, now I'm hungry. No, is this really true? Am I really hungry right now, or am I just trying to eat away those emotions? Okay, truthfulness. Okay, now benevolence. Why is that? Why do I have this conflict? Why am I arguing with that person? Maybe that person is suffering as well. Maybe that person is just being mean to me because he or she is letting off frustration. Wow, compassion. If I'm compassionate, I can actually see another being suffering. And then lastly, forbearance. It's hard. If someone says something bad to you, if life throws a curveball at you, or you walk against that wall, that plateau, it's hard on you. Transforming my character and not just my physical appearance alone. That goal comes from what I cultivate, and I cultivate Falun Dafa. It's a spiritual practice from the Buddha school, and its core principles are based on the universe's principles of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance or forbearance. If you want to look into the cultivation path of Falun Dafa, I recommend you go to falundafa.org, and depending on the language you're most comfortable with, you can the material and books that explain the whole cultivation process and cultivation system are all there. One of the main things on this whole journey, forbearance, is so important: time, effort, and dedication. I know in this day and age we want everything to be now. We want this video to be over right now. We want it to give us the information we want it right now. And we want to have that body and that dream weight right now, yesterday. But the thing is, without time, effort, and dedication, it won't work. And those three things, it's in itself, done constantly, are a manifestation, as I believe, of forbearance. This is like what is actually really, really helping me to break through those moments that would usually fool me into going back into my old habits. I'll admit I'm one of those people who are super motivated in that one moment when the emotions are right and the constellation is good. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. But when everyday life kicks in, come home after work and you know, I'm one of those people who's so easily who's gullible to my own attachment sometimes. But like I said, if I'm driven and motivated by those things that can make my character grow and change, they can bust through those things because they transcend them. And that's what I mean with focus on character and not appearance. And the fourth point, and the last one for now, because we already had point 5, which is set your goals inward. The fourth point is be compassionate with yourself. And that just, you know, is self-explanatory. It explains itself. But for those of you who would like to know what I mean with it specifically, it's not easy to always be able to stay on your path and, you know, follow your routines. We stumble sometimes, and then we fall into pit holes, and then we look at ourselves and say, oh man, I was doing so good. Oh, what the heck, you know, and then we fall even deeper. That's because we get upset with ourselves. But if we would show compassion to ourselves, okay, you've done this mistake, but don't go in deeper. So I look in myself and I try to understand from what I've learned of myself, where have I gone wrong? What untruthful state of mind did I let sneak into my consciousness that's making me, you know, fall back right now without noticing it? And the more I think that way, the more I become aware of it, and I'm able to deal with it. This sounds so cheesy, but it's almost like Dungeons and Dragons, like fighting your own dragons. I wanted to share that with you guys. In a summary, what I've been talking about is 5 points. These 5 points. If there's anything you can take from this video, forget what I was talking about. It's just my personal experience, and you have your experience to make. But these 5 points, in a certain way, you can apply them for yourself, to yourself. Number 1 is study yourself. Number 2 is learn to listen inward. And number 3 is focus on character and not appearance. Focus on character and not appearance. And number 4, be compassionate to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. And number 5, okay, last but not least, is set your goals inward. Set your goals inward. And that's quite a big one, because it incorporates all of those things. If you really want to transcend anything that life will throw into your way, then you should set your goals inward. If you've come this far, thank you so much for sharing your time and your attention as well. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best and good luck with your journey, your nutritional journey, your life path. And if you have any questions, if you like what you saw, please subscribe and just let me know what you think. If you disagree, I would totally love to hear your opinion, because I would like to learn more, and I am wrong sometimes, and that's how we learn and grow. So take care.